Hey guys, welcome back. It's nice to see your beautiful faces now that I, don't see you, but I know you're beautiful nonetheless. I hope you guys are having a great day. Welcome back to the Outlook Industries podcast. It's your host, Trevor Johnson, back here in Durango, Colorado. It's getting up another episode for you. Today, I have one of my buddies who's currently in California. He has been working really hard at getting ready for qualifying for the Olympics for 2024 as a skateboarder. I worked with him at Woodward and did a couple trips with him there. And he's just a cool dude. And I knew he'd be great for the podcast. So I'm super excited to have him on. And we had a great conversation, and just, he has a lot of great stories and great advice that he's been through in his life. So he's a very inspirational person to talk to. So I'm really glad you guys get to hear him and not just me in the car with him when we were driving. But I was like, dang, we need to get you on the podcast. So we're finally here. This is Tristan Sommovigo. I hope I didn't butcher his name too bad. I don't think I did. But he is a great guy. And yeah, skateboarder, originally, I think from Georgia or Florida or somewhere in that area. But he just recently moved to California. So he's getting settled there. And he's got a clothing brand. And he's also got his skateboarding and YouTube and all the other content creation that you'd think of from there, as far as TikTok, Instagram, everything else. He does it all, man. He's on top of it all. So I am excited for you guys to hear what he has to say. Let's get right into this episode. And yeah, here's Tristan.
It's the Outlook Podcast. We're here at the Outlook Podcast. Just because we're here, we're talking to cool people.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Outlook Industries podcast. Today we have Tristan here. He's one of the buddies from Woodward. He's a skateboarder, really, really good at it too. How are you doing, Tristan?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Trevor?
I'm doing great, man. It's fantastic to finally have you on here. I wish we would have done one at Woodward, but timing kind of was weird. Now we can do it now, right? We're killing it.
It's all good. No, summer. We definitely got crazy, left and right things going on. Kind of hard to keep track of free time, but we got to it. We're going. Beautiful California, out in Carlsbad.
Nice.
Living life.
Okay. Kind of for the people who don't know who you are, who are you? What do you do? What's kind of your thing? Yeah. Let's just start there.
Okay. Yeah. My name's Tristan Sommovigo. I'm a skateboarder, 15 years. I've been, dedicated every day. Grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, ended up moving down to Florida into high school, ended up spending 6 years down in Boca and Jupiter for high school. So recently just went out to Tahoe, ended up spending a year there working at the Woodward there, and then finished up the summer here at West. Now I'm down here in Carlsbad. I run a skateboard company called Hardwear Skate Co, and I do all the artwork, hand drawn. Everything is wear tested and curated beforehand and really detailed. So having that going with Woodward, with contests as well, been training for, and the big goal is Olympics 2024 men's park. So having that big goal to focus with my riding as well as a business, and just trying to build a life out here in California. Doing YouTube as well, trying to get more serious. But yeah, lots of moving pieces. But yeah, that's me. That's my life. That's the journey we're on.
Yeah. For the first question I have is, how did you kind of start your company, and when was that decision made?
Well, okay. I started my company, Hardwear Skate Co. I had a gap semester right after high school, and I'm like, man, I really want something to focus on what I'm learning, day to day, instead of have it, go in one ear out the other. Actually be able to apply my passions and make it into a business, a career, an empire to build up and build towards. So, it kind of started with me doing a lot of artwork, me skateboarding every day, and just having these brands that I was into at the time, with like Supreme and Bape and some higher end stuff, as well as like Huff and man, there's a bunch of companies really, but those are like the main players. And I was doing some reselling as well, So, from reselling other people's brands to me being like, I have all this artwork. I've always had a passion for, art and creating in any way. So it really was cool to dive deep and, to that passion and learning all the, different things of running a business, because it always interested me, especially going into college, doing a minor in entrepreneurship, major in hospitality management. So, working with Woodward on the hospitality side to grow, have that stability, work, as a skate director if I wanted to one day, or in the industry at some level to really help and, grow it to, as well as I could as being a camper, and also having the entrepreneurship and, especially the main focus with growing the brand and connecting my skating. So yeah, it all kind of leads back to having that, that organism to grow as I'm learning as a business person, as a human being, and, having that path, having the tunnel vision with it and everything I'm, taking in to really, make that blueprint that I for my lifestyle and integrate that within the company. So yeah, lots of moving pieces though. It's cool though. I enjoy the whole process.
Yeah, for sure. The creative outlet part of owning like your own skate company is really cool. Where do you hope for it to go in the future, and what are your ideas for it?
Yeah, my main focus right now, I would love to get it into skate shops worldwide as well. Rodriguez, a pro skateboarder, he owns the company Primitive. So he has a training facility for his riders, like skate park and the warehouse in the same place. So, to be able to get to that point and be able to do more events and pretty much just better quality, bigger opportunities, even collabs with artists, and really, taking it to as big as I can get it, doing more thought out artwork and bigger events, skate contests for sure, and make a difference in the community, with skateboarding and with art, and kind of having a new outlet to share the vision and share that passion that I have for the sport and for the artwork, and into the world, have that legacy as well to, I'd love for the brand one day to even outlive me. It's a legacy brand. That's how I see it. It's not something I'm like, oh, I'm going to have it for a year and sell it to, Microsoft, whatever, who cares? It's like, no, this is like my whole creative idea of artwork of, everything is done by me with, help by my mom as well. She has her MBA. So with the legal and some of the stuff that I'm, still figuring out day to day, definitely helpful. But, it's like my brainchild, I would say. And I'd love to, have the legacy brand, but, really being able to scale with it and be able to take those major moves, definitely doing more marketing day to day. And, big thing is I want to make a Hardwear Skate Co 2021 video. Get a good once I'm established here, find a good group of dudes that I can get on for like a video. And, once I'm kind of more stable, it's been crazy down here, kind of getting set up from the East Coast, from Florida to Cali, finding a place and taking care of everything. But, every day I dedicate that time, and I have, some art I do, or just internal stuff or website tweaks, but making sure like every day I'm adding to, what I'm building in, any way I really can, even if it's just something small. I feel like because those details really make a big impact, and, to look back and see, how much you've grown already, and really celebrate the small wins during, every occasion. Because growing a brand, it's like, it's really dedicating, yourself fully, just like in a sport. So, I take that mentality from that, skateboarding my whole life into business. And I feel like it really helps the, whole long term of the scope of it, and the confidence, you have behind it to, continue to grow and, put that fuel into it. But yeah, that's the thing, keep growing. That's my mindset with it, as much as I can.
just try and get stuff done. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's kind of talk about your skating. So like, when did you start competing? Like, first, when did you start skating? And then when did you
Okay.
start competing?
Earliest I saw myself on a skateboard. My mom sent me a photo. I was 2.5, and I already knew I was goofy footed. It was pretty crazy, but I
Nice.
really started skateboarding when I was 6 years old. I got my first board for my birthday after seeing my cousin Johnny do some flat ground and curb skating outside his house, going to a dinner. And I was like, what? Like, this is so cool. Like, I want to do this. And literally dropped everything. I was like super into karate at the time and just dedicated, to skating. And I took that year and got comfortable. And that local park, after that year when I was 7, I was able to go. And funny, it actually was a Woodward park. So full circle with being able to work with Woodward and grow up with Woodward and, kind of have that whole scope of the lifestyle from a kid, and also being around this pro skater, shout out Travis Glover. He's OG Zoo York Mountain Dew dude, and he was always around. But yeah, man, really good people there that motivated me from a young age to keep pushing and keep skating and keep, going towards that pro skate dream. And yeah, competing, I would say I was 8 years old, my first contest. I think it was a mini ramp contest. My mom filmed it on the little cam.
That's so sick.
But yeah, I love competing. But I love making videos too. So I try to keep a good balance between contests and street skating, as well as, making video parts to showcase street riding or bull riding or mini ramp, and even just integrating everything and trying to, just reach that level, be more of an athlete with what I'm doing and training, especially, moving forward to get into those Olympic contests and qualifying. So I'm, just training and being able to keep up with those big guys and, have my own style as well as a main focus right now, with every, session setting goals, setting tricks that I want to land and that make, that accomplishment, every session, just to feel that. Because some sessions, it's kind of hard to really push yourself. When I leave and I feel like, I really went out there and I got the trick done and, I feel good about it. That's the mindset I'm pushing towards every session, pretty much, just to, keep the ball rolling, especially when I got good people around me to, motivate me and, cheer me on. But yeah, man, that's the vision with it, keep training, getting better and better every session, and having those big goals for the contests and videos. And, hey, Thrasher, that's a big goal this year. I'd love to be able to get showcased. But yeah, man, that's so cool. That's pretty much the regiment I'm on. Yeah, that and I just released an interview with True Skateboard Mag and a video part as well, Full Street. So really? I'm just trying to kind of get my name out there. Yeah, it's linked in my bio at Tristan Sommovigo.
Okay, I haven't seen that yet, so I'm gonna have to go look at that. But
watching it now, if they want to check in and see, that video part, as well as my YouTube channel, Japan video. I got Macba in Barcelona, a bunch of parks from Florida and Atlanta, even Cali, San Clemente, and my Woodward Tahoe video project as well, that really kind of breaks down like an X Games profile. So, I got some different kind of stuff, trying to showcase everything from park and street and, mini ramp, even some just shenanigans that go down. So, yeah.
How did you get in with like the Olympic stuff?
Funny story. So I freaking just kind of threw a dart on the wall and was like, you know what? I saw they're doing this national championship fully on Instagram, fully on social media. Yeah. So I went, she paid entry. There's like an entry fee to get into the qualifier. And I was like, you know what? If there's no, just get out there and do it, do my best. And I really didn't think much of it. More like, you know what, I can't just not do anything. Yeah. So it was like a 4-part series. They had qualifiers, quarterfinals, semis, and finals. And the first 3 were all videos. The final was at the TF out here in Vista that I'm actually getting set up with to train and work pretty soon. So ended up one morning, had like 20 DMs like, dude, the Barracks just reposted your run in the list for, quarterfinals and USA skateboarding. So I ended up I made it to quarterfinals. I was at my local park down in Florida, Jupiter Skate Park, and I ended up, filming my quarterfinal run. And I ended up in the ante doing more. The first run was more kind of back and forth, bowl skating still, but I had like a few, kind of carve arounds and some airs, but I really wanted to up the ante instead of just kind of back and forth a lot. I started out my second one, air out, back 360 nose grab, roll in, back 180, nose blunt, like tuck knee, pop in, kind of be different with my style as well to kind of signify like everything. And then like did some airs, got a kickflip back lip I was stoked on, all the big spin disasters. And so that run, I didn't even know what was going to happen until I got back to California. I was in Florida. And I basically had like 2 days to get my semifinals. I got like another video. It was like one trick from my quarterfinals. I think it was like the big spin disaster.
Yeah.
On the Eric's, and I was super stoked. They like reposted and like tagged me. And so that was sick. But I had to skate a brand new park for my semifinal to final run.
No.
So it was super different than what I was riding. Yeah. But I still ended up getting a good run in. I got some different tricks. My first trick I was stoked on. I did a kick up to this ledge out down the field. It was pretty cool. But it was dedication with that one, but I ended up getting close, but they picked the top 8 and I just missed, but I got like right there. And then the top 3 from that went to the game. So I was like, right, in that running, I think top 15, top 20 between both of them, I think.
Nice.
I'll have to check back, but I was able to kind of go from qualifier, quarterfinal, semi, but basically, through fully Instagram and the power of that contest that kind of got my name out there and helped me to see, it was so random because it was like the first time they've even done an Olympic qualifier on social media. So, it was just kind of random occurrence that it all panned out. I'm stoked to make it that far in the B riding, especially men's park where these dudes are really sending it. I was more a rookie in the field with the bowl you as well to, go after it and really reach that peak performance level. But yeah, it's crazy. It's all started on Instagram pretty much from the Barracks and USA Skate. Just putting out, hey, we're doing a national championship for the Tokyo Olympics. It's last minute. It was literally like the most random thing. And that kind of got my interest, and I just, full sended it. It was a time of my life where, I've always been dedicated to skating, and first time ever, hey, throw it out there, and it'd be cool. But that's my goal, get to Paris 2024. So every day training, but yeah, man, fire, I would say. No pun intended.
Yeah, no, you're also like one of the most consistent skaters I've ever seen. So like it definitely fit you. So like,
thank you, man.
You work on getting those tricks consistent, which a lot of people just land them and they're like, all right, that's good enough.
I take pride, in the consistency. Like I look up to the skaters like Mark Suchu who are super technical and it just looks flawless. Even I shot wear, bowl skating as well. Just see like Keegan out there. It was sick. We got on the live stream at Woodward. Malcolm, another one of the skateboard staff, we were there. He's friends with Corey Juno. So we were all squatted up in the theater at Woodward West when they played the Olympics, and we were TV, and it was cool. So it's funny. I technically made it to the Tokyo Games in a form.
Yeah,
so I found
that's cool.
But we were rooting them on. We got on the friends and family screening.
Yeah.
After the bull runs. But yeah, it's cool, having these people, especially with Woodward and having the pros there to help, really just kind of being around them, being able to session and see, how they do tricks in certain ways. And it's definitely a lot different, when you're riding with a regular skater, because I'm goofy. So to see it's kind of everything flipped. But yeah, it's cool. It's cool when you find like similar stance skaters that you can really work with and work. But yeah, man, and Parker, shouts like that to, really push you to be a better rider and, get the tricks and go after it even on the times you don't want to. It really, helps a lot with the whole scope of it. Yeah, man, all kind of unfolded in that way, all from iPhone, basically, just to kind of introduce me in that Olympic realm. But I've always done, grind for life competition, skate park at Tampa recently in the past few years. And that's like the grind I've been kind of on, and especially Woodward, East, West, Tahoe, past 4 years, been coaching with them. So I feel like everything kind of builds in this way to kind of help and always be better. And, if I'm even at a chill sesh, just to give myself that push, that needed push. But yeah, man, it's good. The whole community, is what I do it for, and being able to grow with it. But yeah, man.
Yeah.
Love skate.
That's crazy. Just like all the competitions you've done. And like, I've known a lot of people who've done a lot of competitions, but like, you're so like obviously dedicated to the comp side, which is really cool to see, because it's cool to see like people like you skating just so consistently, because you can tell that they're just trying to get those tricks dialed for contests. So I really enjoyed riding with you when I was down there in California. And basically my next question is, what have you learned about life through skating?
I would say what I've learned about skating that mostly sticks out is persistence. Anything you want, you can apply that dedication and that work ethic to instead of, get that trick. It might take 4 hours of trying over and over again, but you'll eventually do it. And that goes with business as well. It, like, motivated me to kind of really push myself in that area and take that mindset with me for growing a brand. And, even school, having that, like, okay, I'm going to grind this out. I'm going to get through it. And like, no matter what the obstacle is, knowing that it is temporary and that you can get, here's what you grow through. So, I see, skateboarding as a big tool of, a lot of major life principles that you could take with you, like just attitude. You see like a bunch of, even like people, like I personally don't really freak out skating. Action sport, but I really try to hold that zen and appreciation. And, I take that with everything I do and really try, to carry that over with, my company and the videos, and put like my full self into it, and really, show the style and, your own brand. Everyone's so unique in the space as well. So it's pretty unique in that way.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Cool. What has like, that's so like, I love the way you put that. It's like, you really do just learn persistence through these sports. Like, it's just that,
dude.
It's just that everyday grind. You're just always struggling with something. It like teaches you to be okay with like failing.
Oh, dude, that's the whole, thing with skating. It teaches you, even scooter riding, even BMX, teaches you that falling is okay. Failing is okay. Everything is growth, and everything is, accumulative. Like, to look back at my 15 years of skateboarding, I don't even, I would never have thought some of the opportunities as well that, would have popped up, and, people I would have met or would have not met. It's like finding the appreciation of the journey, really. That's another thing, is like enjoying the process. I talked with this one, really, let's just say financially stable man, older gentleman. I was at the time living in Florida, valeting, full time, as well as going to school. And, any other time I basically would skate, and it was a really tight schedule. I just felt very, kind of mentally strained at that point. Night, pretty elusive guy. We made first $500 million in 1999. Broker. 1990, I actually cars. He had 2 penthouse units, but one day basically ended up talking to this guy, and we ended up just kind of small talking. It led up to just me like, man, you look like you're on top of the world. You got it all. You're all the best cars, all the super yachts. You can go anywhere in the world. Pretty healthy dude still, like older man, but still look kind of stoked. But he was like, you know what, kid? It took a minute, and he was like, looked at me, and he said, I'd trade all of what I have for what you got. I'm 20 years old, going to college, going to FAU down in Boca, skateboarding, and just trying to figure it all out. And he's like, what you have, dude? You have the journey, fruits, of the labor and of the, the process. If I can go back and do it all over again, that's what matters. And, really finding the good in every situation, and all, the lessons throughout the day, and applying them, moving forward to, really help you, and treating yourself like someone you love as well. Cause I feel like in our day and age, with all the noise, like really just taking care of our bodies, and, focusing on, the long term, and the, especially as an athlete, we're riding every day. Some days I'm just dead. I can't even, walk, especially, some days at Woodward, but yeah, man, there's so many lessons, and I feel like I'm still learning, like every day from skateboarding. It, really, another big one was, don't, put yourself in a box.
Yeah.
Like there's like the world, like everything, all the opportunities, like people kind of tend to shut certain things out, but really just being open to all positive opportunities. And I would say another one would just be your energy, that energy that you were in, rather if you're like, oh, dude, my day sucks, like saying the negative really comes back. But having that appreciation, that stoke, that fire, burning, going after those green lights, really, having that tunnel vision with, all right, there's some things that are day, when before you start mentality, at least, figure out, oh, what can I do today to, make that next move, to, really trying to do that and keep a good team around me too.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's so many lessons. I could write a book, I feel like, with
dude,
skateboard
stories that I've
lessons. Yeah.
the
That'd
stories
be
I've
so
heard
sick.
from you, man, like you could totally write a book. That story that you just told about
soon.
The old man is like one of my favorites, because it's just so, it gives me so much happiness, like thinking about like you have all the opportunity.
Yeah, like I said, like the journey is just skate parks, top class, I would say, with the concrete, and especially being able to have that vision with working with from Woodward. He's out in Barcelona all semester, so I'm a trip this December to go meet up with them for a week in Barcelona, film a whole video project out there. So yeah, man, there's like just so much positivity really just trying to set up everything here first to have that long term, before I start running. Running away is easy. It's leaving that's hard sometimes. But also check it out.
What? No.
What's up?
What was
Hold up.
like the most interesting part, or like, actually, no. Why did you move to California in the first place?
Dude, it's just, man, I bring it back to, I always dreamed of being in California, as a skateboarder growing up in Georgia, especially having, very minimal scene, minimal parks. It's just a mecca, having the best skate parks around me, having a training facility and, some of the best skate shops, really, Woodward as well. And having the beach. I love to surf and, skateboard as well. I did the Tahoe life as well for, being able to, snowboard coach and do all that. But I truly miss the ocean. So, I'm at the point now, SoCal has always been on the forefront for me. It's always been the dream. Like, we're down in Carlsbad now in like North County, San Diego. So, really just being able to be in a place where I thrive and where I feel I, work best in. So I have the skate parks. I can work on my school and my business and, build a home base. My eventual goal within this year is to invest in a family homestead. For now, we're just renting month to month, but, just to get our feet wet with the area and explore. We were just down in like downtown. We were up in Carlsbad, and then we went down to Encinitas and, Oceanside. So just kind of exploring and seeing what, is all out there. Everything that has to offer. But yeah, and the accessibility, literally, it's been a dream being in Cali. Fact of the options, you could snowboard, skate, surf in one day if you wanted to. And other than the prices, it's been a little, gnarly trying to figure it out. But, it's all like I tying it back to being in a place where I thrive, where I have, the industry and the people, to be in skateboarding and to grow my own skateboard company. It's just a really beneficial place to grow. And especially just as an athlete working to be in Olympics and having the training facility and the parks. And, but yeah, man, just coming back to the lifestyle, I would say, of California. And, Florida's cool, Atlanta's cool, but it just didn't have like positive effect on me, for the growth mindset of it. Like I wouldn't see the long term, and I see long term, the California lifestyle and being able to I don't know, just, like I was always in the eco. It's just exciting. I love that feeling of like excitement of like, like that pit in your stomach, like where you get the butterflies. And, I feel like I try to do that with everything, when you're taking a little bit of risk, I like to be in that mode. But, thankfully being able to save up a bunch and, have these things that I'm actively doing to, have, constant sales and investing in portfolio income and, getting set up with these people, especially some shops and the TF coaching on my own too, even doing dog walking and house sitting. So just hustling, man. I'm a hustler since day one. My grandfather was an entrepreneur as well. He was an electrician. So he'd take me on jobs. He really inspired me when I was a young kid. He brought a trade, a skill, and, built them a life out there, gave them, opportunity. And, I feel like that really resonated with me with, everything I wanted to do as like a human and leave that like positive legacy. And he recently passed, and to see, he was a pretty, quiet dude. So to see, what these dudes had to say about him was really inspirational and, really left a mark. So I try to really, carry out his legacy with everything I'm doing and always keep my grandfather in the back of my head whenever I'm, making a big decision and really just, anything I'm working through. Like, what advice would he give me? What would he do in this situation to an extent? So yeah, man, it was cool to have that influence at a young age and to kind of, inspire me in that way.
Yeah, that's awesome. Speaking of risks, you did just go skydiving, didn't you, this last summer for the first time?
I did, bro. Oh my, we went to, let me break it down. We got everybody in the car. I ended up getting the parkour director coming with us, crazy dude,
Oh,
Dave.
Dave's the man.
And Landon. So
Yeah.
it was a crew: Landon, Clint, Dave, and me. Just all hopped in the wet, squatted out about 2 hours. The craziest part was I didn't know that we were right on the San Andreas Fault when we were jumping. So as we were jumping, you could see the whole fault. And in the Mojave Desert as well. It was like something out of Fast and Furious, dude. I was stoked to see. We just did tandem. Dave just jumped. He was a madman, though. He ended up doing playing a game of tag in the air with another one of the coaches because he was like, I don't know, experienced, had a bunch of jumps, and was able to
Jump by himself.
kind of do that. I think Clint was right in front of me. I just see he jumped first. It was like a big packed, like kind of regular, I don't even know, just skydive plane. I don't know really the categorization, but it was sick. We ended up opening the door real quick. Everyone just piled out. And it was like do or die. Like it kind of slowed for a sec right before, but to see Clint jump, and I was like, all right, I'm ready. Let's get it.
Yeah.
And dude, once you jump, it's pure like bliss. It literally feels like, I don't even know. I can't even describe it to really anything. At first, like one of those tornado vending machine things. You ever been in one of those where you shut the door, you have all that air? But once you're, able to control the parachute, and he was running me through just everything, it definitely makes me want to take that class. They have like a class if you go back. So, but yeah, man, it was so cool. Taft, shout out. San Andreas, or not San Andreas. Oh, I guess it's San Andreas. It felt like San Andreas from GTA 5. But yeah. Got a sick photo. Check it on the gram. It'll come up soon. I look pretty funny, but it's a great shot. You can see the fault there. I'm like, got the goggles on, like full send the back, like, yeah. It's so funny, dude. But dude, it was I'm so grateful to have done like the Saturday trips as well with Woodward. We had like one day off. So, went to Venice, we had a friend in Manhattan Beach. We ended up staying, at the beach house, and just being able to go to all these new parks. One in Torrance that just opened. Man, we went down Parker and Westlake. I ended up going there. Even like Six Flags ended up doing that. But yeah, man, lots of fun stuff. Went to the courthouse. Venice, I did, I think, twice.
Yeah.
The 2 times when we went, and then I went earlier in the summer. But yeah, check out that video. Venice Skate Park on my Insta just posted as well. If you guys want to check out the shenanigans from the Saturday trips, all up there. And soon YouTube as well. We got a bunch of stuff in the pipeline. But yeah, the Saturday trips, super sick. I was stoked to do them. Working with Woodward, it was a blessing. Definitely.
It was like my
balance
in California. So
what was it?
That was like my excuse to be in California with Woodward. Like I had to travel as much as I could.
Bro, this man, free tickets to Kid Leroy and Justin Bieber. That itself, like, man, snap. That was such a deal. That was so sick. Especially Yosemite. I forgot.
Yeah.
We went, me and Trevor hopped in the Subi, just full mission Yosemite, no stops, just drove through, went to Mammoth, made some friends in a hot spring at like 3 a.m. And yeah, it was definitely an interesting experience. But we got some amazing photos. I'm gonna post them up in the next few days. I got really sick shots. It's literally like a temple of Mother Nature being there. It was crazy. But super sick Saturday trips. We got to do more coming up soon. Colorado.
Yes, I'm out there. Here, man. Come out here.
Hey, the pipeline, we got Woodward Copper. Potentially once I'm set up here a little more, if I have some time, even might be a move coming into like after sooner. I just want to figure out the home base here before I start leaping around again and like jumping. But that's definitely happening. I will once I am in the pipeline, and basically like an aunt that lives there. I could hit her up too and maybe stay there for a few days.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd love to. I've only done Winter Park in Gransby for like last year on a snowboard trip, and that was mind blowing. Found a roof gap snowboard spot. And that's another thing with snowboarding, skating and surfing, it all kind of goes together. So to be able to cross train during that time at Woodward Tahoe, it was, really good for my air awareness too.
Yes, for sure.
Another lesson with, all board sports kind of share a similar style, I guess, but the little things you have to tweak are kind of major. For example, like you got to pick a foot when you're doing a board slide on a snowboard, as when you're on a board on a skateboard, just straight in the middle. So kind of being flat too, like on all the obstacles on snowboarding, because with skating, kind of like holding like a certain edge to it. But yeah, man, it's super cool to kind of see how these sports help other sports and you build your style. Because, you'll see a dude that like skates kind of looks like he surfs, or, one that's just straight contests, or, there's just all these different ways to go, like a tree. But yeah, man.
Yes, I like that
sick.
analogy. The tree's sick.
Yeah, like some roots, really.
Yeah,
all
some
these
roots.
But, yeah, man.
The other question I have for you is, you're in college right now. Why did you pick the major that you're in?
So, I'm going to Florida Atlantic University College of Business, doing a major in hospitality management with a minor in entrepreneurship. So I really did that for the connectivity to my passions, to, running a skateboard company with the entrepreneurship side, being able to learn, what the real stuff that I was really lacking, and how I can improve as a business person, as well as with the hospitality management, being able to travel and be in the action sports industry to kind of give me some stability, with everything I'm pursuing, by having my active income is something I enjoy, like being a skate director with Woodward down the road, or, working with a bigger company like Vans, or, GoPro, or I don't know, somewhere in the action sports area. But really, to give me that stability, I can keep toward real passion. Skateboard's its own world. So it all kind of ties back to the passion and what I enjoy doing, and trying to make my career always something I enjoy, instead of working in an area where I don't feel like I belong or where I enjoy it.
Yeah.
It goes back to the butterfly feeling. Everything I do, I want to, even the risk before you start, it's like having the active and do the portfolio investments as well as the passive income. And one day I even did a course for real estate this past year for Florida. So even down the road, do some real estate, get into Airbnb stuff. And I've actually been doing some drone photography and videos on the side for realtors for different listings. So, and really that I enjoy, even through like skating, the whole skate world, and just some random stuff, free selling clothing back in the day. And dude, any little way I can, build the empire.
Yeah.
The empire. Yeah, man. And, I'd love to expand with hardware, soft goods. It's kind of play on it and really being able to get to that level of, like the companies I look up to, like the Supreme, like Primitive, even with what they're doing with their whole training facility and warehouse. Yeah, man. It's just the whole journey of what I enjoy and how I can make that a reality by, laying those bricks and seeing it through, instead of like, oh, I don't know. It's like, I just have a lot of friends that are still undecided in their like junior year. It's like, I don't know.
Aren't we all? I feel that. No.
But I have time. I just have time. It's like, I mean, do this because it'll make more money, or do this. But I'm like, I'm not going to enjoy it. I want to be enjoying what I'm doing and what I'm learning. Cause like you can want to be a doctor for 10 years, still get fired the first day. You could be, a dentist, still get fired the first day, go to school for that time. You could be a lawyer for like what? I don't even know, 10
however long
years. Like that, still get fired. Bro, pushing for and having the passive income, the portfolio, investing now so I can keep growing for the long term and the short term with two kind of separate accounts, one for riskier stuff, one for long term. But especially with the company, being able to have the legacy brand and keep growing and keep with, I think I have like 60 products on my site with the inventory I create from just an idea, but really having that creative control and doing exactly what you want. Because growing up, especially working for somebody else, you're always very restricted. So to have the control to be able to, do anything you want, and really freedom, that's what it all ties back to. Having freedom to live my life on my own terms and, travel the places I want to compete, be around good people that motivate me and, push me to be a better person, business person, rider, all these different things. But yeah, man, just build a better life for when, I'm ready to have a family and, have something, have passion and, be the father to my kids that, I always wanted. And, same with, working with Woodward, having, growing up as a camper since I was 12, even at the skate parks when I was smaller and, being in their shoes and, trying to be the coach that I would want to have when I'm working there and just, really putting my whole self into everything I do and having that energy really radiate and, show it's all just for the love and, everything it's not some manufactured bullshit, it's all for a bigger purpose and it's not just noise. I feel like we live in such a generation where it's like, oh, look at me like for like 12 seconds of fame. But I've always looked up to Deerdeck, Tony Hawk, even like Stevie Williams and skateboarders that became entrepreneurs and trusted the vision. And looking at a dude like Stevie growing up in Philly, man, skating Love Park back in the day, like it was, a tough scene out there, and to come out of that and, pretty much living on the streets to being able to grow DGK, which I'm sure you guys have heard of on the pod.
Oh, yeah.
Ghetto Kids. But yeah, man, just to see all these skate entrepreneurs that the process of having a vision for a brand and making it their own and having the control. And even a dude like Deerdeck, where he went from pro skating and building all these assets with his media company Ridiculousness and all he has this new what's it called, Build with Rob podcast, where he has all these people on and talks about their different companies that he's partnered with. He's like a venture capitalist, so to see just the transcending, to be able to have the live the life you want, make a difference, a positive, have that tunnel vision with what you do. And, those people, especially like to see that they can do it. That's the biggest thing, is like to see someone else that have similar, have done a similar thing that you want to do. And it shows you, it is possible. You just have to stay dedicated. And looking back, like on videos of like, oh, like back in the day when they were, younger, our age, and to see like, oh, it was the same thing, it was just an idea. And then just all kind of leads back to what lessons and really dedication. If you want anything and you're dedicated, it's going to happen. You just want to you just have to want it bad enough and want, there's going to be some struggles every day, but our whole life, for all human beings is solving problems, no matter how big or small. So, I feel like we just got to find the comedy, and everything, and the good and the lessons, and, even through the noise and the craziness that we go through, and really, know that we are our own, judges. We're our own biggest competition, and the only one that you're ever competing against is yourself. And, what you think is possible, what others tell you that is possible for you, no one knows, what's possible for anyone. So, having that vision, like look at a dude like Elon, like at our age, you never, oh, that guy's going to have a rocket company one day. Car company.
No kidding.
Like same concept, it's like he wanted to do that, since a kid, and he had the vision, and he didn't want to, he didn't cave. He didn't, even through the hard times like that, about billions person in history, they just, had the vision and did not back down, and, trusted in everything, that was going to kind of work itself out with the energy, and things that are put in. But yeah, really, having these mentors, to look up to, rather than, if they're in your life or just someone, out there, icon, or, in that way, and kind of learning from them, and just like little things, like, how they set up their day for success, or, having these people you look up to, and setting up your life in a way that, benefits your end goal. Not even end goal, because this game, bro, it is continuous. Look at Tony Hawk. He is like, man, 50s going for it. Stoking. I'd say like skating's like the fountain of youth in that way, where you can really, take it as you want. You just have to make sure you take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it really, that dude, inspires me to skateboard for as long as I can too. I'm on that same. Yeah, man. But yeah, dude, it's the whole community of action sports just inspires me, and it's such a positive force in the world, I feel like, and to be a part of this bigger thing. I feel like that's what we all search for as, human beings, especially in, skateboarding or scooter riding or anything, like being part of something bigger than yourself, and, adding that legacy that you can piece of pie, piece of cake do. I don't even know, man.
Yeah.
It's great. It's truly a blessing to look back on all the amazing things that, have gone, and, been able to experience, and opportunities. And yeah, man, it like I said, I could write a book on all these sections of, life lessons, and, hey, coming soon, my master class. Tune in.
Dude,
coming soon.
I have two more
funny story. Yeah. Okay.
Questions for you. First off, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
10 years. I see myself, having a home base in California, being able to travel and compete, and still, being at the top of my game. And in that age range, I feel, I'll be a much more precise skateboarder, and, my riding really focused, just being an ATV, with everything I do. And yeah, growing my brand, having my brand at a point where I can have, at that time, I don't know if brick and mortar will be the move, but have it worldwide, and have, warehouse and my training facility, and videos, and really, having the whole machine going, investing more, and having that path. I have a, significant other. I really, want to focus on building my own career. So at this point, you know, to see where I'm at that point, if I'm ready for a family, I don't want to rush things at all. But, you know, once I'm at the point, I really want to, you know, have the freedom though. So until I feel at a point that I'm like, okay, I'm ready, I'm not going to rush things of like, you know, because I want to make sure the life I bring my kids into is one that I'm proud of and one that I, you know,
true. I love that.
So that's, yeah, man, that's my plan with everything I'm doing now for my life, and you know, have that total like, you know, kind of vibe. And I don't know, man, especially just competing. Like I love competing. I love doing videos. I'd love to get more exposure and just kind of keep pushing my own point. Man, I'd love to have some investment properties too. By then that I'd have, you know, Airbnb or whatever the thing is. But really, you know, you know, something like venture capitalism at some point, or, you know, just having these multiple businesses that I can be involved with and always have the eggs in my basket to not have to worry. Because I grew up with a single mom and we've always had to, you know, cut the corners some days, you know, not have a, you know, I'm very fortunate, you know, in a lot of ways, but, you know, I'd really love to be able to give like my kids a life I'd love to have and be able to travel and, you know, do the things that I couldn't do when I was younger and be in the place that I, you know, always wanted to be. But yeah, man, like at 31, that's the big goal. Pro skateboarder, entrepreneur,
You gotta be a pro
investing,
skateboarder at
travel.
31.
Oh, dude, hey, you know, it's got my name on a board. You know, that I don't, you know, make myself for my company. But hey, you know, it's all coming together. We got some really great networking. That's another big thing. Ties back to why I moved to California is the connections. You know, the other day at this Malibu mini ramp contest we went to, I ended up skating the same division as Roman Pavich. Jake Wooten was there. Even got to see David Loy. Who else? Hayden McKenna came through. Even Scapegoat, Leandre Sanders.
Yeah.
He was there. So be able to these dudes. I ended up if you ever see Missouri, oh no, you should watch it. You'd like that show. It's a good show. But yeah, he owns Stereo and he's connected in the industry. So really the connections and to be able to grow and you know, have the backing, you know, to give you the connections. You know, it's a little who you know and what you know. So being in this
is so important.
Yeah, and especially with skateboarding, it's like one of the biggest things. Like if you're, you know, in some, you know, I guess to an extent, like some small town in Kansas, and you can do YouTube and you know, all like it's like a mecca kind of in that way. It's like Mecca. So like I'd say like SoCal is like skateboard Mecca, and everything was, you know, SFLA. But yeah, you know, like the people you meet or you know, the contest, meet some people, but you know, it just really puts you out there a lot more as a rider, as a skateboarder, and kind of taken a little more seriously. It's like, oh, who's this? He's in the California scene. He's, you know, it adds its own like mystique, because there's very, you know, what I've realized, it's like its own like kind of energy to it, like the California heat, you know, in the mix with all these, you know, legends. Like I was saying, Jake just went pro for Santa Cruz. He's at the barracks on Bright. And, I don't know, just being able to skate with these dudes. We just say they hosted this festival as well with a whole skate park in the middle.
Nice. That's cool.
Street. They got golf carted us in. It was like one of those crazy comps where it was like, oh, I don't know if we're going to get in. I ended up signing up and got on the wait list. And so it was like one of those things, but we got it. I got Parker in too. So
Nice.
we got Garrett Rogers. If you guys have ever seen Skate Line, he was there announcing. Super funny dude. But yeah, it was great. You know, being able to, like, you never really see that, you know, in Florida, like just like all the you kind of see on YouTube, see, you know, on Instagram, like all, you know, there. It's such a unique experience that, you know, all these people are like, oh, I wish I was there. But yeah, man, it's truly special. It's a special scene. And, you know, like I was saying, that every 5 minutes there's a new skate park. You know, there's so many skate parks here, and having something new, having a good, you know, local as well. I've been going to Alga Norte. Shout out Carlsbad. But yeah, man. That would be
Nice. My last question for you is, what is your meaning of life and why? If you have to like sum it down to like a paragraph.
Okay. My meaning of life. I would say my meaning of life is passion with everything I do, you know, tying back to like kind of the whole conversation with, you know, that freedom, man, I would say as well, just having a good team of people around you that motivates you. And I would say as well, just finding, you know, that ease and grace with everything that you do, and knowing that everything has its higher purpose and bigger meaning, you know, to it. And you will, you know, down the road understand why, you know, things ended, you know, a certain way or happened a certain way. And, you know, I feel like the universe kind of works in that divine, you know, you know, like I was saying about energy, it can work against you as well. It's just, you know, what you put out there that comes back. So I'm always trying to be, you know, as positive in a situation I can. Even, you know, today popping my tire on the highway, I was like, well, at least I needed to get a new tire anyways. The universe forcing me to do it, and, you know, get a new alignment. So now, you know, at least that's checked off the list, because it was getting a little bit, you know, worn down. And actually, the steering kind of got a little wonky. So now it's all fixed up and it's riding like a new car. So yeah, man, just finding the silver lining and everything, and seeing, you know, the bigger picture with, you know, the whole kind of scope of the world that you're building around you and the life that you're manifesting, you know, and every day, and seeing the progress as well, you know, celebrating the little victories and really appreciating, you know, everything in the day to day. And I feel like there's just so much that, you know, around us that, you know, we kind of take for granted, not even like meaning to, just kind of, you know, finding the little times in the day to just like really appreciate what's, you know, happened and where you are and where you're heading, and knowing the past doesn't define you as well. And, you know, the future is all, you know, up to you. And the present moment is like the only thing guaranteed. So really looking at the past is, like I was saying, life lessons and how you can overcome them. And as a business person, as a human being, you know, itself, and just really living in the light, living in the good, and, you know, being, you know, around the people, like I was saying, that, you know, are in that same vibration, not ones that kind of bring you down to, you know, lower vibration. But yeah, man, I feel like meaning, you know, the whole reason we're on this earth, I feel like, is to manipulate that energy, and, you know that we aim everything that we already created. You know, it's crazy to think that, you know, it's like a lotto ticket on this planet. And, you know, but yeah, you know, that would be my very complicated paragraph of my meaning for life.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Tristan, for sitting down, not even sitting down, walking around with me tonight.
Yeah, I like to move. I think better. You
Yeah,
know,
for sure.
I'm
I totally
outside
understand.
too. I can't sit in a room normally. More ideas when I'm just walking. I'm out in nature, you know, looking at this nice bush in front of my hotel. But hey, man, Trevor, you're the man. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah,
Don't forget, check out my YouTube channel. It's Tristan Sommovigo, Instagram. Whoa, Hardwear Skate Co. We got the Super 73 boys causing some noise. Oh, we got another one. Oh, but yeah, check it out. Hardwear Skate Co. New drops, new video, YouTube as well. I'll keep you guys posted as well. You know, we got Woodward coming up too. So we'll see you soon. Woodward Copper and Trevor will be doing some new content for you guys. So be on the lookout.
And of course,
yeah, man. Trevor, thanks for having me on, dog.
Yeah, thank you.
I had a great.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening again.
Yeah,
tuning into the podcast. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night, evening, morning, whatever time it is that you're listening to this. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.